Hi, I'm Susanna Bowling, and this is live from the Hotel Edison. Times Square Chronicles presents Zoom Style. This is Mental Health Month, and today's guest is an actress, a comedian, a writer, and she's doing a show called Lizzie Sunshine at the Soho Playhouse that was in the Edinburgh Festival and won multiple awards. We're with Liz Coyne.
Hi there. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Uh, I want to hear about Lizzie Sunshine, but first tell us your background and how you got involved in theater.
You got it. Yeah, well, I grew up in Iowa, the theater capital of America, of course. So I
That's
grew up there.
awesome. Unitas.
Yeah. So I grew up doing, community theater, doing it in school. I always loved it, but I didn't start doing it professionally until I got older. I did the Second City. So my background is in sketch comedy, sketch writing, and then when I moved to New York, I started doing stand-up and solo characters in the UCB style. And then I've always been an actor, commercial acting, on-camera acting, film school. I went to Northwestern for undergrad. So all of that kind of combined into my show, and I use all of those different things in the show.
You have a national commercial running, right?
I do. Aren't I so lucky? It was so fun to do. It's called Daily Harvest is the brand, and I'm a genuine fan of the product. They sell like frozen, ready to make smoothies and foods and stuff, and I got to do a commercial with them singing a parody of my favorite things from The Sound of Music of all things.
What else have you done? Where else can we see you? Have you done
Yeah.
TV and film?
I have done some TV and film. I was just recently in a pilot that has not been released yet, so that's exciting. That was on NBC. Film wise, what else have I done? I've done a few, kind of short film style things. I was in a few pilots, and then I weirdly enough was on Beast Games, the Mr. Beast video show on Amazon Prime, the competition. So that was crazy. But mostly, yeah, I do a lot of stuff just like internet content and video wise.
It's Mental Health Month. Did you know did you do Lizzie Sunshine for that specifically?
No, it just kind of worked out perfectly that May was Mental Health Month because I'm doing the show in May, like, I don't know, almost 20 times or more. So it worked out, it just overlapped. I didn't plan it, but it lined up nicely.
How did you get to the Edinburgh?
Yeah, so when I first decided to do this show, I developed it with Tim Murray. He's a great friend of mine, and he's a great performer with his show Witches, and you've seen him all over the place. So he had done The Fringe, and he had such a great time and great success with it that I really just picked his brain and used his knowledge and help to get there. So he told me which venues to apply to. I cast a very wide net. I asked, I put my show out everywhere, but I was lucky enough to get chosen by Gilded Balloon. And I went last year kind of as a trial because I had never been to Scotland at all. And I got about a 2 week run, like a week and a half last summer. And I
Wow.
learned so much just doing it that short amount of time. And I got some reviews and just good stuff came from that. A theater in London invited me to come do the show there, which is happening at the end of May. So I think that mini run at Fringe is what's really setting me up to do the full run, full Monty, trying to get more industry stuff this summer.
Tell us more about Lizzie Sunshine.
Yeah. Lizzie Sunshine is a character that I've created. She's this kind of hyper positive character, and in the show, she does a presentation, almost like a motivational presentation on the power of positivity with her brother. It's a little hokey. It's like this kind of church basement vibe, but he's running late. He is the her brother is running late, and she needs to start the show and continue the show without him. And he's kind of the star, so she's filling in all of his things and using the audience to cover. So it's very farcical, it's very physical, comedy based, and she's just this kind of insane, rose-colored eyeballs girl.
What do you say to people that are not into interactive theater that just want to sit and watch it?
I say you can come to this show too. You absolutely, the whole show is sitting and watching it. You don't have to interact at all. I don't pick on anyone who isn't willing and able to be picked on. And picked on is even strong. It's really, there's a few people who may come on stage during the show, but it's all voluntary. And I have plenty of people who see the show who don't typically like interactive theater, and they'll come up to me and they'll say like, I really like this. I felt like I was part of it, but you weren't forcing it on me. Or there's ways to feel involved. And don't worry, I have plenty of people who sit there with their arms crossed and just watch and take it in. That's a big part of Fringe. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how many grumpy Scottish people are watching the show silently, and I think like, oh my God, they hate me. And then they come up to you after and they shake your hand and they say, this was my favorite piece of the Fringe. And you're like, really? Like I would have had no idea. So I think there's something for everyone in the show.
Yeah, I have to admit, I would be one of those people that would not want to interact because I'm there trying to take it all in and review, and it totally takes me out of that. It's
Yeah.
very, very hard to concentrate when you're like, oh no, 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 please no.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. I'm cognizant of that. Like it's not like I only do interactive theater and I'm dying on the hill of interactive theater. It is mostly just a play. The interactive, I think, is earned. I don't like performances that make the audience feel how you're describing. So I'm really cognizant and wary in my show that the performance, the audience stuff is earned because she is stuck by herself. She needs people. She needs the help of the people who are in the room with her. And it feels more like a conference in that way. So I'm wary of that. I also don't love it. Like if I'm going to see a show, I don't want to be picked on. So I understand, and I hope you can see it so I can prove that you'll feel okay in there.
What would you like to do? Where would you like to see your career go? What kind of roles, what kind of formats would you like to do?
Totally. I am so in the mindset of like a TV show, like writer creator style. So the women who created Pen 15, one of my favorite shows of all time. I love the Broad City Girls. One of my heroes is Mindy Kaling. Obviously, Carol Burnett is probably my biggest influence. If you see the show, that's like very much Carol Burnett style. You'll see, and I love anyone who can kind of create their own style that becomes a TV show that they are known for. So I really would hope to see my career moving into screen acting, which is what I do even more of. I love stand up, I love performing live. I do it every night and I still will, but I think I'd love to be the writer creator of my own TV show or movie that is funny and people relate to the characters.
What makes you love stand-up?
Stand up, you know what? I didn't think I loved it until I started doing it. When I was an improv girl, especially in Second City, I was like, oh, stand up. Like it was almost like the improv people versus stand up. And it wasn't until I started living in New York and trying to make this show. Because the show, it's not like I sat in a room and I wrote it. I mean, these started as bits and little snippet concepts that I would do at an open mic. Like you'll see I play a Greek Orthodox priest in my show. I went to variety shows and did my priest bit in a room full of unsuspecting people, and they love it. It's clown in that way.
Oh, so
So
you use it as a like a testing ground.
100%. Yeah, a lot of testing of all of the different bits of this show happened before they went into the show to see if they'd be any good. And stand up was the way I got in. Stand up open mics, right? You can go and get on stage and you might be the weird girl at the stand up open mic doing a character, doing a funny voice, and no one else is doing that, but it makes you kind of novel and they begrudgingly accept you. So the more I did open mics, the more I realized like, oh, I can do stand up. I write jokes all the time. I write them for characters who aren't me, or I write them in a pilot or whatever it is, but I can do it as me. And in the last, I'd say like year and a half, 2 years, I have found my voice doing stand up more. I still don't think it's my like number one preferred method, but of performing, but there is no better way to strengthen your writing skills than getting up and performing your jokes live and seeing how they land.
If I'm not mistaken, somebody from the Groundlings worked on your show with you?
Yes, Holly Mandel. She's a huge mentor of mine, and I'm so like lucky to know her and work with her. When I moved to New York, I started working with her at her improv school and learning the Groundlings kind of methodology, which is so character based, and it comes from like the person is funny more than the premise is funny. And she was one of the first people to work on and direct my show and give me pointers because, I've been working on it for a while and you need someone ex outside of you to say, hey girl, that part doesn't make sense. Hey girl, you need to cut that or you need to add that or whatever it is. And she is so smart, so awesome. And yeah, really thankful that she worked on the show. Holly Mandel, if you're watching this, hi.
In terms of theater, are there roles or playwrights or directors that you want to work with?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so many. I mean, I think in general, I love the pipeline. Like I said, I'm so film and TV oriented. So like I love how like Phoebe Waller-Bridge took her live stage performance and then adapted it into Fleabag. But obviously, I love Cola Scola and Sam Pinkerton and the kind of arc that they had with O'Mary and going from small comedy whatever to bigger to Broadway, and now it is what it is. So I don't know if I have specific people in the theater scene. I still feel like a freshman here, honestly, meeting people. But my director, McKenna Reynolds, is much bigger in the theater scene than I am, and she knows um, more people than I do. So I've learned a lot from her and met people through her as well. She's awesome. She wrote the Emily Dickinson musical that's like blowing up right now on the internet. And yeah, so proud and happy to work with her.
You mentioned the internet and TikTok a lot. Um, I'm not really that knowledgeable of it. So can you, I think it's a different generation. So can you explain that to me and how that really plays a part in performance now?
Yeah, man, it even in the last few years, it started to play more into the role of performance than it ever did. I remember in COVID, I was like, oh, should I start posting videos? I have nothing else to do. I wish I had because it really is the future now, especially for selling tickets. So the internet in general, with like TikTok and Instagram, you can post anything you want, but you want to create your own brand because people don't really go to your website anymore. They go to your Instagram. And if someone sees me live at a show and they're like, oh, she's really funny, they'll go to my Instagram, see however many followers I have, and then decide how real I am. Like, oh, she's real. She has over 10,000 followers, or she has blah, blah, blah. It really is instantly how people judge you nowadays. And so I think in general, as like a live performer, it's also how you sell tickets. Because if I have right now, I think I have a little over 13,000 followers, and I worked my absolute tail off to get that amount of followers. You have to post videos every single day. It's not enough to perform live anymore. To be a great performer, you also have to get good video of you performing or video of you doing other things. It's an entirely different skill set that you really have to cultivate, and there isn't an option not to. I have so many talented friends and artists who just aren't putting any of their stuff out there. And unfortunately, you can't wait to be discovered. No one cares anymore to do that. Even managers, right? Like I'm trying to find a manager, and I think they like to see someone who's already doing it for themselves, who can prove that they'd make money, they would do well. And so you have to build it in order for people to come. And I built my Instagram and social media following doing character bits, doing just like talking head storytelling bits that are almost like stand-up quality, doing sketches with my friends, which is my favorite. I love making videos with other people more than by myself. And now I'd say it is what gives me credibility that people say, "Oh, I'll go see her show. She has." I don't know if that's totally true, but it
No,
it,
I
it
think it
has
is.
helped. Yeah.
I was at an event yesterday, and I'm not really a big social media person. And I mean, I do it sometimes, but not really my thing. And literally, I got 10 new followers yesterday because they all wanted to know me, but it was all through Instagram. And I'm like, and I said to them, look, I'm not really the biggest, I'll post stuff here, but it's not what you think. And it's under my name and not the papers. And there was actually a girl that offered to help me yesterday. She's like, "Oh my God, I love your stuff." No, you need to be there.
Yeah, you do. And it's just it's hard to think like you already have so many skill set which got you where you are that now you have to learn a whole new thing. Like it's its own job. And that's what I have found the hardest with producing this show is that I have to do my job of being a social media person and posting videos and creating new stuff every day at the same time as being the producer who's trying to get butts and seats at the same time as the artist who's trying to actually be good at it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
you
I
have to
do.
really spread yourself.
I mean, I get over 3,000 emails per day and I have two email boxes, so like almost 6,000. And just to get through those emails, and then they want, and plus I write 5 articles a day. I do a podcast. I'm telling you, oh my God, you want me to do this too? Why?
What? Yeah, with what hours in the day? No, I get it that it's so much. And so it's that was something I didn't expect so much going into this is how much the time the social media takes. And that's why I understand why people become full-time influencers and they don't bother with live stuff because it's a full-time operation.
Do you think that it's going to go away anytime soon, or is it going to keep on being this?
It's going to keep on being that and more. I mean, take SNL right now, for example. The most recent cast members of SNL, one or two of them maybe were from like the Groundlings or live performance places, but more of them were internet folks, like Veronica, right? She has a huge online following and people love her so much, including me, right? And she gets cast on SNL. And now you have people who were not watching SNL at all watching SNL for her because they followed her because they're internet people. So I think SNL is brilliant to do that, even though other people have thoughts and opinions on why are you casting internet people? You should be casting people with training. So the whole
Its talent would be better.
with talent, yeah, with talent is good, but you know she is talented, and it's she's talented in a different way. So everyone has different opinions on talent. You get people who love her on Instagram who don't think the Groundlings people are funny or talented. It's different strokes, and I think SNL is surfing the change right now of internet people versus theater people. And I think improv schools are noticing that change as well because it used to be you had to do Second City if you ever wanted to think about being on SNL. It used to be a pipeline. When's the last time a Second City person got to SNL? It's been
Oh,
years. Same with any improv school, realistically, and not some of them more than others. UCB is still quite the feeder, but I think improv schoolers are having a harder time selling their classes and getting people excited about going, paying all that money because the result isn't as clear.
no, this is definitely having an impact because you mentioned Sam Pinkerton. He's got the new Rocky Horror Picture Show. But my response after seeing that show was I thought you had to sing, dance, and act to be on Broadway because half of that cast couldn't do it.
Oh.
But they're big internet people. They're on TV shows and they're big internet. So people are like, yay, I get to see them. And I'm like, oh my God, they can't sing.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't see it. I've heard a lot of people say that with
What's true?
different performers and it's tough. Yeah, it's a weird world. I mean, Megan Thee Stallion was on Broadway in Moulin Rouge, and I love Megan Thee Stallion. I totally would have gone to see it just to see her. So I get why Broadway is doing
Well, she's
that.
actually good on, she's actually good.
Yeah, she's
Um,
fabulous.
but you're talking half of the cast of the Rocky Horror cannot sing or dance,
Yeah.
at least not
Wow.
at the caliber that it should be at.
Yeah. And it's so hard because then you think, okay, well then why are they doing that? But the issue is with
Exactly.
selling
I,
with
that
selling
is what
tickets.
that was what I was thinking. What?
Yeah. But how else are they going to sell tickets to that? Maybe I'm just trying to think on the now be
No, no,
trying
no.
to be more on that.
I
Mhm.
see where they're going and I get it. But
Yeah.
I think that as a society, we're putting too much influence on influencers. And I think this is scary.
Our attention has to be so split because it's like, oh, well, maybe you should try verticals. Maybe you should try doing that. I think I would totally be into doing that, but I have to pick my poison. And right now, trying to produce this live show in New York, in London, and another country, like it's like you said, Susanna, like there's just not enough hours in the day. So I could see that being a way, like let's say I create a TV show. I would 100% start by putting that TV show as verticals on social media because that actually now is another way to get picked up to being a show. If you
Right.
think of like Insecure, she started as a web series, Issa Rae. You think of, well, even now, Quinta Brunson Abbott Elementary. I mean, she also got her start working on BuzzFeed and making sketches, Black Lady Sketch Show. So I think verticals and social media videos and producing high level, TV quality content is the way to get picked up because seeing is believing for these producers more than just reading a script.
It's very scary for your generation because, like, when I started doing theater, you were an actor or you were a singer who act, which made you bigger, or you were a singer who acted and danced, and that was like specialty. Now, oh my God, you have to do everything. And I find that totally awing and fascinating that they can.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Different
Tell me
world.
what your show Lizzie Sunshine is playing.
Oh yeah, it's playing at Soho Playhouse May 6th through the 16th at 7 p.m., except for the 11th and 12th were dark, and on Mother's Day we're at 5 p.m.
And is there anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to say?
Yeah, I'd love to let you know that Lizzie Sunshine, the metaphor, it's a comedy show, but there's always 10% of truth and a bit of a twist ending. And it is for Mental Health Awareness Month. This show really champions the loved ones of addicts. So the main character is not an addict, it's the little sister of. And I do a lot of work teaching improv in rehab centers. I do a lot of outreach to like sober living communities and family support groups. I send out free tickets to staffing and members of those communities and offer for free workshops. So that's something that Lizzie Sunshine goes toward in every city and state that I visit.
I'm so glad I asked that question.
Yeah, thank you. That's what the show's about. That's like what the character is. I mean, I've lived close to addiction my whole life, and that's yeah, so that's important to me.
Well, I love that. Our time's up.
Okay.
Uh, I'm Susanna Bowling. Magda Katz has been filming us and making us look and sound good. I'd like to thank Bromel and the Hotel Edison because this will be up on their screens in the hotel.
Cool.
I'm Susanna Bowling. This is live from the Hotel Edison. Times Square Chronicles presents Zoom Style.